What if I told you the most reliable motorcycles in the world aren't the most expensive? You don't need deep pockets or a garage full of tools, just the right bike. In this countdown, we're revealing 14 cheap Japanese motorcycles that will never break down. From backroad beasts to city cruisers, these bikes are built to last. Number 14. Suzuki VanVan 200. If you're searching for a motorcycle that combines throwback charm with rock-solid reliability, the VanVan 200 is your answer. This retro dual sport from Suzuki looks like it rolled out of the 70s, with its fat balloon tires, long seat, and low stance, but underneath, it's all modern dependability. Powering the VanVan is a 199 cubic centimeter air-cooled four-stroke single-cylinder engine. It puts out 16 horsepower and 11.7 pound-feet of torque, plenty for commuting, dirt roads, or easy weekend cruising. Its 5-speed manual transmission is smooth and forgiving, perfect for new riders or anyone wanting a laid-back ride. The VanVan weighs in at 282 pounds wet, making it light and highly maneuverable in both traffic and on trails. The suspension setup includes a telescopic front fork and a single rear shock, tuned for comfort rather than hardcore off-roading. Braking is managed by a single disc in the front and a drum in the rear. Simple, effective, and easy to maintain. The seat height is just 30.3 inches, keeping the center of gravity low and the ride accessible to nearly any rider. Its 1.7-gallon tank and fuel efficiency of up to 85 miles per gallon give it surprising range for such a small bike. Priced at $4,649, the VanVan 200 isn't just a style statement, it's a serious contender for anyone who wants a fun, low-maintenance bike that won't leave them stranded. It's quirky, capable, and quietly one of the most dependable machines in its class. Number 13. Honda CB 110. This isn't flashy, but that's exactly why it's legendary. Built as a commuter workhorse for global markets, this simple street bike thrives where others fail, handling bad roads, heavy use, and constant abuse without flinching. At its core is a 109 cubic centimeter air-cooled four-stroke single-cylinder engine. It produces 8.5 horsepower and 6.5 pound-feet of torque. While it won't win drag races, it will outlive almost anything on the road. It's paired with a 5-speed manual transmission that's smooth, forgiving, and built to last. This bike weighs in at 268 pounds wet, making it nimble and easy to control, especially in dense traffic. It features a conventional telescopic front fork and dual rear shocks tuned for pothole-riddled city streets. Braking is provided by a front disc and rear drum, offering adequate stopping power while keeping maintenance minimal. With a low seat height of 30 inches, the CB is approachable for virtually any rider, regardless of height or experience. The steel-spoked wheels and simple analog gauges reinforce its utilitarian roots. Fuel economy exceeds 90 miles per gallon, and with a tank capacity of 2.6 gallons, this machine keeps going long after others stop. Priced at just $2,699, the CB 110 is what motorcycling used to be: reliable, cheap to run, and easy to fix. If you want a machine that always starts, rarely complains, and keeps rolling long after others give up, this Honda is it. Don't roll out unprepared. Our favorite tools and must-haves are linked below in the description. Number 12. Yamaha TW 200. It is the motorcycle version of a mountain goat, rugged, unshakable, and ready for anything. Known for its oversized tires and unmistakable stance, this bike has built a reputation as one of the toughest dual sports ever made. At the heart of the TW is a 196 cubic centimeter air-cooled four-stroke single-cylinder engine. It produces 16 horsepower and 11.5 pound-feet of torque. That might not sound like much, but on a trail, it's all you need. The engine is paired with a 5-speed manual transmission, and its mellow power delivery makes it easy to manage for beginners, yet still satisfying for experienced riders who want a go-anywhere machine. The TW weighs 278 pounds wet, and its wide, low-pressure tires add to the bike's planted, float-over-anything ride feel. Suspension is handled by a front telescopic fork and a single rear shock absorber tuned to soak up trail bumps and street imperfections alike. Braking is basic but effective, with a single front disc and rear drum setup. Easy to maintain and dependable in the roughest conditions. The seat height is 31.1 inches, offering a neutral and balanced posture for a wide range of riders. The fuel tank holds 1.8 gallons, and the TW200 delivers an impressive 80 miles per gallon. This gives it a solid range for both backwoods exploration and urban commuting. Priced at $4,999, this is a bike that has earned its cult following through decades of hard use and low maintenance. It's not flashy, it's forever. We burned through dozens of spec sheets and hours of research to make this list bulletproof. If that doesn't earn your subscription, what does? Number 11. Kawasaki Eliminator 250. Designed for riders who want the low-slung cruiser look without the bulk or the headaches, this machine delivers smooth power, surprising longevity, and mechanical simplicity in one approachable package. It's powered by a 248 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that produces 28 horsepower and 17.1 pound-feet of torque. This engine is derived from Kawasaki's proven sport bike platform, which means it's built to rev, built to last, and built to run trouble-free for tens of thousands of miles. The Eliminator comes in at 335 pounds wet, making it one of the lightest cruisers you can buy. Suspension consists of a telescopic front fork and dual rear shocks, giving the bike a balanced and compliant ride over potholes or highway pavement. Braking duties are handled by a front disc and rear drum, keeping it simple while offering sufficient stopping power. The low seat height, just 27 inches, makes it incredibly accessible for shorter riders or those new to motorcycling. The fuel tank holds 3.4 gallons, and with fuel efficiency near 75 miles per gallon, the Eliminator can stretch its legs on long weekend rides without constantly hunting for gas stations. With its minimal electronics, exposed frame, and no-fuss engine layout, this is a bike you can ride hard and wrench on yourself. Priced at $3,899, the Kawasaki Eliminator 250 proves that reliability doesn't have to come at the expense of comfort or character. It just keeps going. Number 10. Suzuki GS 500e. For riders who want a machine that just works, day after day, mile after mile, this midsize classic is a no-brainer. Its parallel twin engine, known for resilience and simple engineering, provides a perfect blend of performance and longevity. With 487 cubic centimeters of displacement, it produces 47 horsepower and 27.3 pound-feet of torque. That's more than enough to handle freeway speeds, daily commutes, or weekend canyon runs. Matched to a 5-speed manual transmission, it offers smooth gear changes and torque you can count on without overcomplicating the experience. This workhorse weighs in at 375 pounds wet, making it light enough for daily maneuverability, yet solid enough to stay composed at highway speeds. It uses a tubular steel frame, telescopic front forks, and dual rear shocks designed to soak up rough pavement without compromising control. Braking is handled by a single front disc and a rear disc setup. The upright ergonomics, standard bars, and a seat height of 31 inches create a comfortable and confidence-inspiring riding triangle. Fuel economy averages around 50 miles per gallon, and the 4.5-gallon tank gives solid range between stops. Riders looking for reliability without the frills will appreciate just how easy this bike is to maintain. No finicky electronics, no unnecessary tech, just proven mechanics that keep going strong. Priced at $4,799, this is one of the most underrated budget bikes to ever come out of Japan. It is dependable, affordable, and nearly impossible to kill if you stick to basic upkeep. Number 9. Honda CRF 250L. When reliability meets true off-road ability, the result is a dual sport that punches far above its weight. This machine is powered by a 4-stroke liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine with a displacement of 249 cubic centimeters. It delivers 23 horsepower and 16.6 pound-feet of torque, numbers that may not seem aggressive but translate to dependable real-world power across a wide range of terrain. A 6-speed manual gearbox helps riders maintain smooth acceleration whether tackling mountain trails or navigating city streets. With a wet weight of 317 pounds, pounds, this dual sport is impressively nimble. Suspension duties are managed by a 43-inch inverted front fork and a Pro-Link rear monoshock, both offering long travel for confident off-road handling. Braking comes via a single disc up front and one at the rear, giving you solid, predictable stopping power even on uneven surfaces. The seat height is 34.4 inches, providing great ground clearance without making the bike unwieldy for seasoned riders. Its rugged chassis and long travel suspension make it just as comfortable on back roads as it is in town. Fuel capacity comes in at 2 gallons, and with average fuel economy near 75 miles per gallon, the range is more than enough for trail days or extended rural commutes. What really makes it shine is how little it asks in return. Routine oil changes, basic maintenance, and it keeps performing like new. Priced at $5,399, it is a reliable, lightweight dual sport that will keep moving long after heavier, more complex machines are parked in the garage. Number 8. Yamaha XT 250. Built with one goal in mind, rugged, long-lasting simplicity, this lightweight dual sport is a true jack of all trades. Its air-cooled, 4-stroke single-cylinder engine displaces 249 cubic centimeters and produces 19 horsepower along with 14.5 pound-feet of torque. That power band is modest but surprisingly usable, whether you're climbing loose trails, running errands through town, or just enjoying a backroad cruise. With a 5-speed manual transmission and easy throttle control, it is one of the most beginner-friendly dual sports on the market, but still rugged enough to satisfy experienced riders looking for a reliable workhorse. This machine weighs in at 291 pounds wet, giving it a nimble, confidence-inspiring ride off-road without sacrificing stability on pavement. The suspension features a long travel telescopic fork in the front and a single adjustable shock in the rear, both built to soak up bumps, rocks, and washboard terrain. Braking is managed with a single front disc and rear disc setup, which is more than adequate for a bike this light. The seat height comes in at 31.9 inches, high enough for decent clearance yet low enough for many riders to flat foot at stops. Fuel economy averages around 70 miles per gallon, and the XT 250's 2.6-gallon tank stretches that efficiency for serious trail range. With minimal electronics and a reputation for taking abuse without flinching, this bike is as close to apocalypse-ready as you can get on a budget. Priced at $5,399, it is a purpose-built machine that does not overpromise yet over-delivers when the road gets rough and help is nowhere in sight. Number 7. Honda CBR 250R. High mileage, durability, and sport bike styling rarely go hand in hand, but this little overachiever pulls it off. It is powered by a liquid-cooled, single-cylinder, 4-stroke engine displacing 249 cubic centimeters. Despite its small displacement, it generates 23 horsepower and 16.2 pound-feet of torque, making it lively enough for daily riding while remaining easy to maintain and forgiving for new riders. The 6-speed manual transmission gives smooth, predictable shifting, and the gear ratios are tuned to maximize acceleration without overworking the engine. With a wet weight of 357 pounds, this sport bike offers rock-solid highway stability while still being nimble enough for tight urban traffic and twisty back roads. The suspension consists of a conventional telescopic front fork and a rear Pro-Link monoshock, tuned for responsive yet comfortable road feel. Braking duties are handled by a single front and rear disc setup with optional anti-lock braking system for extra safety. Seat height is 30.5 inches, which strikes a balance between sporty ergonomics and everyday comfort. Fuel efficiency hits close to 75 miles per gallon, and its 3.4-gallon tank means fewer trips to the gas station. Its styling pulls from Honda's bigger Supersport lineup, but the maintenance requirements are far more forgiving. Valve checks are spaced far apart, oil changes are easy, and the engine itself has a reputation for running well into 6-figure mileage territory with basic upkeep. Priced at $4,899, it's a rare combination of reliability, style, and low-cost ownership in a beginner-friendly package that holds up long after the thrill of the first ride wears off. Number 6. Kawasaki Z400. Modern, aggressive, and surprisingly dependable, this street fighter is the kind of machine that turns heads while keeping maintenance headaches at bay. Beneath its angular bodywork sits a 4-stroke liquid-cooled parallel twin engine with a displacement of 399 cubic centimeters. It produces 48 horsepower and 28 pound-feet of torque, offering a sharp power band that makes urban commuting or spirited backroad carving a total blast. Mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, it delivers smooth shifts and keeps the power band accessible, whether you're accelerating from a stoplight or pushing through a long sweeper. Weighing in at 363 pounds wet, the Z400 is one of the lightest bikes in its class. Suspension is managed by a telescopic front fork and a horizontal backlink rear shock, both tuned for responsive handling and daily rideability. Braking is handled by a single pedal-style front disc and rear disc setup, delivering strong and precise stopping power. The seat height is a manageable 30.9 inches, which balances visibility with confidence at stops. This bike also includes a digital LCD display, LED lighting, and a minimalistic cockpit that keeps things functional and modern without adding complexity. Fuel capacity stands at 3.7 gallons, and the Z400 offers an average of 55 miles per gallon, giving you solid range and daily usability. With a starting price of $5,499, this bike brings performance, style, and reliability together in a package that's easy to own and fun to ride. It is a modern classic with Kawasaki's signature toughness baked in from top to bottom. You've stayed this long, and honestly, we appreciate that. Return the favor, subscribe, and keep the good stuff coming. Number 5. Suzuki DR 200 SE. Durability doesn't always come in big packages, and this rugged dual sport proves it. With a legacy of reliability and an engine that's as tough as they come, this lightweight enduro machine keeps things simple in all the right ways. At its heart is a 4-stroke air-cooled single-cylinder engine displacing 199 cubic centimeters. It makes 20 horsepower and 13.3 pound-feet of torque, offering enough grunt for trail riding, gravel exploration, and even light street commuting. Paired with a 5-speed manual transmission, the DR 200 SE delivers power where it counts without unnecessary complications. Tipping the scales at 278 pounds wet, the DR 200 SE is impressively nimble and responsive. Suspension duties are handled by a telescopic front fork and a single rear shock, both engineered for rough terrain and basic road travel. Braking is simple but effective, using a single front disc and a rear drum that provides solid control on and off pavement. With a seat height of 33.3 inches, riders get excellent ground clearance while still maintaining a balanced ride posture. Fuel capacity is 3.4 gallons, and with fuel economy averaging 80 miles per gallon, it delivers incredible range on a tank. The DR 200 SE has earned its reputation as one of the most reliable small dual sports ever built, favored by riders who want a machine that just works. Priced at $4,999, it offers unbeatable utility, go-anywhere resilience, and the kind of minimalism that keeps you on the road and out of the garage. Number 4. Yamaha SR400. Few motorcycles manage to stay relevant for decades without major changes, but this retro thumper does it effortlessly. With its air-cooled 4-stroke single-cylinder engine and classic styling, it bridges the gap between nostalgia and reliability. The engine displaces 399 cubic centimeters and produces 27 horsepower, along with 20.6 pound-feet of torque. Those figures might sound modest, but the riding experience is anything but boring. It delivers steady torque in the low and mid-range, right where you need it for relaxed road riding or weekend cruising. It's paired with a 5-speed manual transmission and, yes, a Kickstarter, just like the good old days. This bike weighs in at 384 pounds wet and comes with a telescopic front fork and dual rear shock suspension, tuned to deliver a smooth, composed ride. Braking is handled by a single front disc and a rear drum, keeping with the minimalist, easy-to-maintain philosophy of the whole platform. The seat height sits at 30.9 inches and the ergonomics are upright and neutral, making it one of the easiest vintage-style bikes to ride all day. Its steel frame, spoked wheels, and minimalist gauges all point to long-term durability. Fuel efficiency hovers around 70 miles per gallon, and the 3.2-gallon tank gives it a decent range for both city riding and light touring. Priced at $5,999, this machine offers real character, dead simple engineering, and the kind of mechanical purity that's getting harder to find. It's a bike that asks for little and gives back everything in miles. Number 3. Honda Supercub 110. No list of reliable motorcycles is complete without the most produced vehicle in motorized history. This little machine has moved over 100 million units since its debut in the year 1958, and for good reason. It is powered by an air-cooled, 4-stroke, single-cylinder engine displacing 109 cubic centimeters. The power figures are humble: 9 horsepower and 8 pound-feet of torque. But this bike was never about speed. It's about getting you from point A to point B every single day without fail. The 4-speed semi-automatic transmission means there's no clutch to worry about, making it accessible for virtually anyone. Weighing only 240 pounds wet, this bike is light, nimble, and exceptionally easy to handle. It features a telescopic front fork and dual rear shocks that soak up city potholes and light rural terrain. Braking is managed by a front disc and a rear drum, providing all the stopping power this small machine needs. The step-through frame and 30-inch seat height make it incredibly approachable for riders of all sizes. Add to that its enclosed chain, basic analog gauges, and rugged build, and you've got a bike made for decades of use. Fuel economy regularly exceeds 100 miles per gallon, and with a 2.4-gallon tank, you're looking at serious range with hardly any fuel stops. Priced at $3,849, the Supercub 110 is more than just a motorcycle. It's a legend, and it's earned that title by doing one thing better than almost anything else ever made: showing up, running strong, and never letting you down. Number 2. Honda Shadow VLX 600. For cruiser riders who want timeless looks without the headache of constant maintenance, this is one of the most trusted choices to ever come out of Japan. It is powered by a liquid-cooled V-twin engine with a displacement of 583 cubic centimeters. This setup produces 39 horsepower and 35.7 pound-feet of torque, which makes it ideal for relaxed highway riding and low-end cruising torque. The 5-speed transmission delivers smooth shifts, and the power band stays predictable, making it approachable for beginners and endlessly satisfying for seasoned riders who just want to enjoy the road. This cruiser weighs in at 518 pounds wet and sits low with a 27.2-inch seat height, giving riders a relaxed, feet-forward posture and confident control at stops. The suspension setup includes a standard telescopic front fork and dual rear shocks tuned for smooth, steady cruising on rough pavement or long highway stretches. Braking is handled by a single front disc and a rear drum, offering effective and balanced stopping performance with minimal complexity. It uses a shaft drive system instead of a chain, which cuts down drastically on maintenance and helps keep the bike running clean and quiet. With a fuel tank capacity of 3.7 gallons and average mileage of 55 miles per gallon, the Shadow VLX makes an excellent long-range partner without many fuel stops. Priced at $4,899 on the used market, it stands as a cruiser that delivers on comfort, reliability, and classic cruiser charm. If you're after a relaxed ride with a bulletproof track record, this one delivers in full. Number 1. Kawasaki Ninja 250R. When it comes to small sport bikes that simply refuse to die, few machines have the legacy this one carries. This lightweight icon has long been praised for its reliability, simplicity, and affordability. It runs a liquid-cooled parallel twin engine displacing 249 cubic centimeters. The engine generates 32 horsepower and 21.7 pound-feet of torque, providing enough punch for spirited backroad runs and city commutes alike. The 6-speed transmission is well-spaced and shifts smoothly, making it an ideal first sport bike and a worthy daily machine for seasoned riders. It tips the scales at 375 pounds wet, giving it excellent agility and quick handling without feeling twitchy. The bike uses a steel frame and rides on a 30.5-inch seat height, giving riders a comfortable and upright riding position that doesn't demand race day ergonomics. Suspension is handled by a standard telescopic front fork and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. both tuned to balance daily comfort with confident cornering. Braking is delivered by a single disc in the front and another in the rear, giving it strong, progressive stopping power. With a 4.8-gallon fuel tank and a real-world fuel economy pushing 70 miles per gallon, this bike covers long distances without frequent fill-ups. Priced at $3,799, the Ninja 250R is more than just an entry-level sport bike. It is a mechanical survivor, often logging over 100,000 miles with only basic upkeep. Whether you're looking for a dependable commuter or a first bike that won't disappoint, this machine sits at the top of the list for a reason. There you have it, 14 cheap Japanese motorcycles that just don't quit. No drama, no breakdowns, no regrets, just bikes that do what they're supposed to, year after year. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these bikes do you trust with your life or your wallet? Drop your pick in the comments or tell us which models we missed. You guys always bring the heat in the replies. And hey, if you got value from this video, if it saved you time, money, or decision stress, do us a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one.